Hello everyone, so in this week's video I'm going to be showing you how to make a pretty realistic cut using gelatin. So I pre-sculpted and made this cast. If you want to see how to do this, check out my Walking Dead Cole Grimes Shot Eye tutorial where I'll show you how to sculpt and cast. Then once you've got your cast ready, I've melted down some gelatin. If you want to know how to make gelatin, I'll also link that below and a video to how I made it and stuff like that. Then I just coloured it to match my skin tone. So this was just a game of getting it the right colour, testing it, adding more, adding less, you know, like adding white to like even it out. Then once that was done, I just poured it straight into the mould, but you want to make sure it's really liquid, like really liquid, like make sure it's so liquid. And then you want to quickly take some, I'm just using another mat and I'm just like pulling as much as I can off the top to get it as smooth as I can. And then I just took a lighter and I just like melted the edges to make sure it was nice and smooth and flat. Once that was done, I powdered it all and peeled it out, and I just took away some of the edges and it looked like this, and I was really impressed with how it came out. I loved it. Then I just placed it where I want to place it, and then I just powdered around it, like just so I knew where to stick the Prozaid, and then I just painted the Prozaid all over where it's going to go, and then I blew off the powder. Don't swipe it off with a brush, because if you get Prozaid in your brush, then your brush is more or less ruined, which isn't what you want, is it? No. Once that was done, I let the Prozaid dry, and you know it's dry because it'll start to go clear. Whilst it was still a bit tacky, I stuck the prosthetic down. I just placed it on and then pushed it down just to make sure the edges were stuck. Then I took some witch hazel on a cotton bud and blended out the edges. Witch hazel dissolves the edges and it will really like give you that seamless edge, as you can see here. And it's like your best friend when you're working with gelatin. And then once that was done, I then did a second layer of Prozaid over the edges just to make sure they're really sealed in, to try and help blend it even more, and it would just keep it there in place. Then once that was dry, I powdered it all once again and brushed off that powder, and I then began to paint the prosthetic. So I used my Skin Illustrator palette to paint this. I more or less used just red and blue tones and skin tones around the edge, but I darkened up where it's going to be deepest, and I even added blue to make it even deeper, and then it was lighter around the walls and just over the edge. It was like lightest reddy pinky colour. So it would look something like this. Then I just matched it to my skin as best I can. Hopefully colouring the gelatin will also help make it like your skin tone, but I did go a little bit too dark, but when I added the blood and things, it did like fix it up right. But make sure you don't go OTT when adding the blood, because I always do, as you will see in a second. However, I started off adding some scab blood and clotted blood just to get that like bloody, gooey, you know, that like fleshy kind of appearance. Then I just like smudged it around a little bit, and then I began to add some liquid blood. This is where I got a little bit carried away because it just got messy, but it did have a great effect. And once I added the liquid blood, it was more or less complete. So yeah, I hope you liked this video, guys. If you did, please like, share, subscribe, do all of that stuff, and I'll see you next week for a new tutorial. Goodbye.
Pattern, please. Knife again, please. Scissors, please.